I'm gone. Nah, show you the top 5 worst foods for seniors that you must cut out right now if you do and want to be dependent on others or have your mobility challenged in your later years. Hi there, welcome back. I'm a retired police officer and certified personal trainer who helps people over 50 get fit, get healthy, and most importantly get active so they can enjoy their golden years to the fullest. Now, many of us have been brought up with the wrong ideas about nutrition and what is good for us. And it was our fault, because unfortunately, many of those ideas were taught by well-meaning family members or friends who had no idea themselves. Well, today we're going to debunk some of these myths, and I'm going to share my top 5 worst foods that you need to stay away from if you do want to limit your mobility and your independence as you age. Now, this is important. If you think that I'm talking about foods that are high in protein or high in fat, you are completely wrong. Because you can consume both of these things without any problems, as long as you know where they're coming from. So stick around because I'm going to show you exactly what you need to avoid. And number 5 is actually going to surprise you. So let's jump right into it. The first food that you need to eliminate is simple sugars and starches. Simple sugars include all refined sugar like white sugar, brown sugar, confectioner's sugar, raw sugar, coconut sugar, which by the way tastes very much like the other sugars in any type of artificial sweeteners, like Equal Splenda, Sweet and Low, NutraSweet. All of these are extremely bad for your body and have been linked to a lot of health issues, especially as you get older. They wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels, which leads to inflammation in your joints. It can cause weight gain, obviously, because sugar is just empty calories. But the worst part about it is that sugar feeds cancer cells. And if you do end up getting cancer later in life, which 1 out of 3 of us will, you do not want to be consuming sugar at that point. It will only make it worse and speed up its growth. And once you start eliminating the sugar, you then need to look at the source. Is it coming from a natural source like fruit? Because remember, fruit contains fructose, which is a simple sugar. And yes, it also contains fiber, which is a good thing. And some antioxidants, which are great as well. But if you're just drinking fruit juices like orange juice or apple juice, you're consuming the fructose without the fiber, which means it will hit your liver and raise your blood sugar level without any of the benefits.
Ow!
Also, don't forget about the starches, because these are a big one, especially for men. Potatoes, for example, are considered a starch. They are loaded with something called solanine, which has been shown to increase PSA levels in men. The problem with this is that if you go see your doctor and he does a blood test and finds out that your PSA levels are elevated, he might think that you have prostate cancer, when in reality, you might just be eating too many potatoes. So if you want to lower your risk of prostate cancer, cut out the potatoes. Next up is sodium. Now, sodium in itself isn't bad. In fact, you need a certain amount of it to survive. But the problem is that most of us consume far too much of it. And unfortunately, it's hidden in almost every processed food that you can eat. That includes canned tomatoes, soups, prepackaged meats, cheeses, and even bread. The problem with eating too much sodium is that it retains water inside your body, making you appear bloated. But more importantly, it makes your arteries stiff and rigid, which raises your blood pressure and increases your risk of having a heart attack or a stroke. So if you want to decrease your blood pressure and remain nice and lean, you need to stay away from salty foods. So now you're probably wondering, okay, what should I be eating instead? Well, here's a few ideas. Instead of potato chips, have air-popped popcorn. Instead of soda pop, drink water. Instead of eating a hot dog, which by the way contains 683 milligrams of sodium, have a chicken or turkey slice with lettuce, tomato, and mustard. And instead of a bowl of cereal, which by the way contains 741 milligrams of sodium, have an omelet with spinach and mushrooms. No, 3 on the list is vegetable oils like corn oil, cottonseed oil, canola, soy, safflower, and partially hydrogenated oils, also known as trans fats. The reason why you should avoid these oils is because they contain omega-6 fatty acids. And while you do need omega-6 fatty acids in your diet, the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids should be no more than 4:1. Unfortunately, due to the popularity of fast foods and processed foods, we have increased our consumption of these oils to a ratio of 20:1, which creates a massive imbalance inside our bodies. This imbalance causes excessive inflammation, which leads to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and arthritis. It's not only that, but they also deplete your body of vitamin E, which happens to be one of the best antidotes to oxidation and free radicals. This is why you want to cook your foods in extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil instead, because they contain monosaturated fats that help reduce inflammation in your body. Alright, the next one is going to surprise you, because it's one of the most common staples in many people's diet, especially in America, and that is dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt. Now, dairy products are a major cause of allergies and have been linked to many different types of health issues like acne, asthma, sinus problems, ear infections, and even high blood pressure. This is mainly because dairy products contain lactose, which is a sugar that most adults are actually allergic to. It also contains something called casein, which is one of the hardest proteins to digest. And last but not least, it contains saturated fats, which contribute to inflammation in your arteries. So if you want to prevent chronic diseases as you age, you need to stop consuming dairy products. But wait, there's more. Did you know that dairy products are also one of the leading causes of prostate cancer in men? A study done by Harvard Medical School found that men who consumed 5 or more servings of dairy per week were 34% more likely to develop prostate cancer than those who ate less than 1 serving per week. And finally, we have the one worst food for seniors, and that is gluten. Gluten is a protein found in grains like wheat, barley, and rye. And it's also hiding in a lot of processed foods like pasta, pizza, crackers, and sauces. Many people, especially as they get older, start to experience a loss of stomach acid, which makes it difficult to break down this protein. So it starts to build up in your digestive system and creates an autoimmune reaction. This means that your body starts to attack itself, and it will create inflammation in your gut, which leads to leaky gut syndrome, which then leads to brain fog, mood disorders, and autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis. So if you want to keep your digestive system strong, you need to cut out the gluten. Now before we go, I want to remind you that you are more than just your physical body. You have an incredible mind and emotion body as well, and both of them require just as much attention and training as your physical body.
Ow!
So check out this video here on how to keep your emotions strong as you age. And here's another one on how to improve your memory after 50. And if you have UNT already, make sure to subscribe so you get notified whenever I post new videos.